Please, you can continue.
Don't answer data, no. I think I'm asking about.
Mapuche, continue. All right. Right. So
Can
I
you
think
see my screen?
yes, please. It's visible.
Oh, okay. All right. So I just continue. Okay. All right. So let me just. I believe the recording is in progress now, right? Mr. Rich, I believe the recording is in progress, right?
What did you say?
I said I believe the recording is in progress.
Yes, please. It is.
You are recording.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Prior to the record, just at the point where the recording went off, Manuel was suggesting he gave a very fantastic suggestion where he spoke about the calculated measure, saying that the measure in most cases are aggregated values. And I agreed with him because if you remember the last time, I think even Peter Ghana was with us the last time, we established a fact that in most cases, the calculated, the measures, right, it sums or it aggregates column-wise. The measure, it aggregates column-wise. And then the calculated columns aggregate row-wise, even though it can also aggregate. Okay, fine. It doesn't aggregate column-wise. It only does that when it's in a chart or a graph, just like what we did. Just like what we did, especially in this one. You realize that ordinarily, it was just going to give us a count, right? For us to aggregate, we have to we have to modify it from here. So that is all of it. So at this point, I just want us to touch briefly on there's certain things that we usually forget, or if I'll say take for granted or ignore. And is this formatting. This formatting. I remember last time, I think I was listening to one of Peter Ghana's lesson, and I realized that he was complaining at the time he had an issue with getting the dollar sign and other things. And I know that a lot of us had probably had that issue, trying to get the dollar sign, get this and that. Where we can get all these things is here. All those modifications can be done here. So basically, I am converting this to currency because it's supposed to be in currency. So I'm converting this to currency. So once I've converted to currency, you can see that we have a dollar sign here. You can always change it to any country currency that you want. You can always change it to any country currency that you feel comfortable with, and then you are good to go. So, and then the what do they call it? This is for your decimals. How many, other stuffs. So that is it. I don't know if anybody has any question with regards to the difference between a calculated column and a measure. So that we can zoom off from here and then look into probably other things that are also present. Does anybody have any question at this point? Any question, concluding suggestion, so that we can proceed?
Please, if you have any question, you can jump in.
Anybody?
We would move on from here. Yeah, I think it's clear. So.
Okay, so once it's clear, I think we will start playing with DAX a bit.
Exactly.
Just start playing with it, see what we can do on it, and then we all learn from each other. So we'll start with somebody was made some statements about having complex calculations. If you have any complex calculation you think you want us to do, just bring it on board. Let's fix it in, just anything at all. Let's fix it in. And I'm not hearing any lady's voice here apart from.
Oh, they are with us, pa. Oh, yeah.
Are you serious?
Hello, the ladies.
Doesn't seem to be.
Celestine, is she with us today? Let me see if Celestine is with
Doesn't seem to be like that.
Oh no, Celestine is not with me today. Anne. Oh.
Doesn't seem to be like they're here. I think they've all.
Yeah, the ladies are with us. Oh, Akofa is here. Hello, Akofa.
Hey, yeah.
Hi.
Oh, come on.
Hey, the Akofa that they're talking
Oh,
about.
yeah. My one.
Oh, imagine we have a professor in our midst and I'm talking plenty.
Oh.
Please do.
We have a professor in our midst and me, I'm talking. I have to get relegated so that he can
sure.
step off
Oh,
stage.
No. Make sure you address her for me. Yeah, Richard and stuff, they are all with us, right? At least everyone here is good one way or the other, right? So we are just helping ourselves.
Yeah, trying to do
it. Hey, Manos, we can't beat you, eh? Yeah. So, Sina, let's continue from here.
All right. So, I am using the project progress table because I think there are a lot of things that we could do on this table.
All right.
If I'm not mistaken. All right. So I think I've done a sample of a calculated column and a sample of a measure. So we might be looking at some of those basic functions that has to do with the calculate, divide, calculate, add, calculate, and subtract, and all those things. So we look into them. Let me create a new column. Let me see. I think we don't have much of numbers here, so let me check. Go to the let me see. Is it on water source that we have that? In this case, it is except to do count. Let me see. Okay, I think this, though it looks complex, but it has some of almost of these particles you might be looking for. Where is that? Let me see what we intended to do there so that we can use that for an example. But if you have an example you want us to try, we can try. But let me use something that we've done in the course of the project so that I think that one has a lot of things you can play with. Where is this? Calculate some. Do you mind? I start with this. Just explain the this whole write-up.
Okay.
And then we'll go to explain, and then we can now try our hands on it to see if we can do something or by ourselves with it. Now, I think we have a couple of we have aggregated functions. We have the logical functions, and this has to do with the ifs and other things. And I think the logical functions are functions that we will be dealing with a whole lot more, especially in the real world, because they are always conditioning to everything. Yeah, in most cases, you know, those days when we're doing economics, they'll say other factors held constant. So in this life, some factors will always be held constant for some assumptions to to find its place in the business world. If we don't hold some factors constant, there is no way we'll be able to do the things that we ought to and need to do. All right. So usually when we are trying, if I'll use the word, when we are using a logical function, there are critical parts to it, and Power BI will always help us, give us guidance or direction as to what we are doing. For example, let me try and work on a new column. Assuming I'm trying to replicate the aggregated improvement. So if I say if, now just type in the if, which is a logical state, more or less a logical statement. Power BI has already given me some suggestions in that regard. Now I have taken my if. The first thing it tells you is a logical test. And the logical test is, what are you thinking about? What situation are you trying to bring on board? What logic are you trying to tell us? Let's say if x equal to 5, or if Peter is a boy, or if Abina is a girl, you are trying to give it a certain kind of logic. Or if on a certain column, right, we have let's say we have 5 boys, or in a certain classroom, we have 5 boys, give us true. If not, tell us false. So a logical statement is the body of the whole thing, or the whole expression. Having had the body, now you come with a result if true. I believe you can see what is written here. Result if true, and then result if false. Now, result if true is if it meets your logical request. If it meets your logical request from the specific column you are asking of it. If it finds your logical request, it should either produce true or give you a certain feedback. Or if it does not meet that request, then it should give you a certain feedback. I don't know whether you guys, is anybody confused? So I'll elaborate. For example, I'm sending somebody on an errand. Go to Accra. If you find an orange seller, buy me orange. If you don't find orange, buy me pineapple. Are we together? So now we're going to implement it on a column. And remember, there's some level of specificity in the statement, especially at the logical test aspect. That is why you must be stable column specific. Please take note. That is why you must be table column specific. If you are sending somebody, I want orange, then you should be sending the person to a particular store where he should be able to find it. If he doesn't find the orange in that shop, buy another thing or something else from the same shop, or go to the next shop and get me this. That is where the related comes in. But let's take it one after the other. So let's put the related aside for now, and then focus on the basics of the if function. All right. So now, before I proceed, I want to confirm the kind of, if I'll use the word, the options we have under the improvement before I give that request. Okay. That's the table we're working on. All right. So under the aggregator, we have the drill well, install tabs, and all those kind of things, right? So for me, I think install tabs 1 to 8. Okay, so that's fine. Where is the table? Okay, so let's say okay. So we're going to try our first if statement. So let's say if I usually put in my open and close brackets first because I want to solve that problem. I don't want to finish my work and then you realize that one bracket is missing somewhere. I don't know how many of us suffered that with SQL. Where you realize that one comma is missing and then it's like the whole code has turned upside down.
Oh yeah.
Who try to it was really most times you realize that you've written a beautiful code and then just one comma is missing and you are getting those annoying error messages from Jupyter. It's very crazy. But then I mean it helps us to tread with caution so that we really understand what we are writing and make sure that we don't have those. Okay, so let's proceed. So if let's say improvement. So first of all, the table and the column. Why table and column? We could have similar column name in different tables. Not similar, same column names in different tables. But we cannot have same column names in the same table. Whether you are using capital letters or small letters, so long as the alphabets are the same, in fact, the characters are the same, you can't have the two of them in one table. And the reason why I know I have aggregated improvement here, that is the reason why I changed it to, I made this aggregated improvement _2 to change the character so that it becomes a different table altogether. Are we together? I can see a message here. Okay. All right. So now, if project progress, where is improvement? Project progress, improvement. That's a logical test. Okay, if equal to are we together? If project progress equal to let me use the word, let me say install. Please, I am bringing my double quotation because it's a string. I'm trying to give it a string or a response. I'm trying to give it a response that is not numeric. A response that is not numeric. I think when we get into Python programming, this is the same. It's the same for Python. If you're dealing with a string and you don't put it in single parenthesis, single quotes or double quotes, you're in trouble. So, but Power BI has different. It responds differently to single quotes and it responds differently to double quotes. Double quotes, if you have single quotes, you are actually talking about a table. But if you have single quotes, I beg your pardon. If you have single quotes, you're talking about a table. But if you have double quotes, you're talking about a string. So please let's take note. All right. So if project progress improvement, if the improvement column of progress is install RO filter, comma. So I'm done with my logical test. Now it has, you see it has turned blue. The result if true is now activated. So result is true. So what is supposed to, okay, yes. That is, I mean, we're just an example, just for us to understand it. So give me yes. Give me yes. Otherwise, please, who can tell me why I have this here? Why I have this mark? Can somebody tell me why I have this error, this exact sign, red under it? There's a reason. Who can help us?
Please, anyone to jump in to help us with that?
I don't
There's
know if,
a reason why.
I don't know
There's a
if
reason why
I'm
I have
right, but
this.
I think it's because it's supposed to have quotation marks because it's more of a string. And also, if it doesn't have the quotation mark, I think it's kind of trying to look for a column rather. So that's how come you have the red. I don't know if I'm right.
Okay. Any other person? I'll respond to you. I'll respond to you. Any other person? Any other person? So I like what Iman has done. Take note, single inverted commas are for table names and double inverted commas are for strings. That's good. I love that. Thank you very much, Iman. Very grateful. So I didn't get your name. Oh, please. What's her name? The lady that spoke. Our sister who spoke. Please help us.
You can let us know your name, right?
My name is Rosemary.
Rosemary.
Okay, Rosemary.
Yes, Mohammed is saying.
All right, Rose. All right, so Rose, you are right. You are 100% correct. Because once it is not in a string format, it tries to understand whether it is a column. And once it searches through and it finds that it is not a column, it returns an error. It returns an error. So if we tell Power BI that this is actually a string, return yes as a string. Otherwise, return no, also as a string. We are done with our logical because it has all the components. This is component 1 before the comma. After the comma is component 2. And after the comma again is component 3 before you close your bracket. Are we together? So once we input this, are we expected to find any error? Are we expected to find any error before I press the enter?
I think we are completed with.
Are we?
I think we are completed with all our arguments. So let's try. If there is, then.
All right. So we don't have an error. So we have the yes, 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 yes. And then, so you can see that we have yes and no. So let me close the no. And let's say yes. So we have all the no's, all the necessary no we need to have. So you can see that our logical statement is
Wait. Yeah.
Although this can get, yes, Edmond, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, Edmond, jump in.
Okay, so it's a question, but he can finish with this one. I've been seeing in some instances they use double equal to signs, and then when you are using the single equal to sign, I just need that clarification. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, good. Now, this issue, right, is something that is very, very common among coding language. The double equal to and the single equal to. In most cases, Power BI inclusive, when you are using double equal to, it means exactly equal to. Nothing is, if words for words is like good for good. Words for words is like good for good. Now, if you are using a single equal to sign, let's implement it. I mean, we are all learning, so let's try. Let's do something. So let's assume I delete the e. Let's see whether it works. I deleted the E from the filter and it doesn't work. I get only no because there's no arrow filter. All right, so let me return the E. And I have yes. So yeah, I used the what I know regards to the double equal to. Double equal to is exactly equal to words for words. Exactly words for words. But then with a single equal to, it also works. If I use a double equal to, I'm still going to get the same feedback. I got the same thing. But take note, I'm sounding this word of caution because next month we are moving into Python. In Python programming, the double equal to and the single equal to don't work together. They are not the same. The double equal to is the same with the Power BI is double equal to. But the single equal to, it tells you that you are tying a, like for example, what it means if this were to be in Python, what it means is that project progress is equal to all these statements, all these things here. It just say that it's equal to everything on the left side. It takes it like mathematics. 2 + 3 = 5. That's how it sees it. It doesn't see it as they having some sort of it doesn't treat it like a string in a string situation. No, it sees it as a calculation. So that's the difference. I'm just trying to, just because next month, yeah, yes, Richard, you can jump in.
Okay, so Peter, let's try something. Let's take the arrow off and then still maintain the double equal to, and then let's try and see if it will work.
Okay, makes sense. Is no.
Okay, so then it means your explanation for the double equal to and then the equal to is right. Equal to means it has to match the exact phrase. But if it's only one equal to, then it means any thing. That's fine.
But again, you know, with Power BI, the single equal to works. In fact, I'll say virtually like the double equal to, if I'm not mistaken. It works virtually like the double equal to. Because in this case, we have single equal to. Let me take off the arrow. It's also off. I don't know that you can see what I'm also, what you can observe what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it. So that means they work the same.
Virtually the same. Virtually the same. But this is not so for other programming, especially Python. It is not so Python. Yes. For Python, yeah. If you are using Python, if you attempt to use double equal to in the place of single equal to, you have issues. If you attempt to use single equal to in the place of double equal to, you have issues. So just for your notice, for our learning, and then in case of tomorrow. All right. So we move away from let's tweak this a bit to get a little bit more complex than what we know. Now, recall that this particular column says aggregated improvement, where it demanded that we produce, they say, if it were, you know, for the case of install arrow filter, we maintained it, right? Is that it? Is that the case?
Yeah.
Anything like tab, we converted it to install tabs. Is that not it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Anything like tab, anything like tab, where is this? Let me see. So we had drill wells, we had install public tabs, we had install RO filters, install UV and RO filters, prepare infrastructure. So let me look at the improvement itself. Where is the improvement table? Where is it? Okay, I think this should be the improvement, right? Okay, so we have all this. So the focus is anything that's got to do with tap, you just put install tap. And anything that's got to do with, but we are going to maintain the drill well, maintain arrow filter, maintain the others. So the only one we have issue with is the tap, install tap. Is that correct? Is that correct? So let's get this sorted out. So now we are making our code a little bit more complex now. Still on the if. Still on the if. Okay, so can somebody give us a function that solves this problem? This is what we want to achieve. And this is how I try to approach my DAX issue. What do I want to achieve? I want to find out if from the table improvement, if I have anything that's related to tap, I just write install tap. Now, which function gives me the right to search for or to make that kind of search? If you remember, when we did SQL, we used the like function, like this, like that, and we're able to get similar or related words. Now with DAX, right? The prescription or the prescribed function is to use the contain strings. Are we together?
Yes, please.
Are we together?
Yeah, we are.
So let me. But it'd be a nice thing for us to try all these things, all these contains row, contains strings, contains string exact, path contains. I think I've tried the contains row. I think so. That's not that. Let that be by the way for now. So if contains strings, again, me, I like to always close my brackets. I don't like confusion. I don't want stress. Okay, so if now that you see the argument within context, and within context, if you remember when we talked about the if function first only, it started with a logical test. And the logical test deals with specificity in terms of the table column you want to deal with, first of all. And then the condition you are giving it. The same way the contain strings works. The within context also has its specificity of table column. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. It has its, no matter what you're doing, you must refer it to the column you want it to check or to investigate for you. Very, very important. So I'll start. We have a project progress improvements. And then it says find text. What text are we finding? Tabs, right?
Yeah.
Now, Okay, so my comma has to come here. Okay, so now if we have tabs, what are we putting as our result if true? Now we are done with the contain strings argument. The argument for the contain strings. It has two arguments. One, the context, the place you are looking for it from, and then what we should find from it. So reading it in plain text says, if improvement under the progress project table contains a strings like tabs. I read again. If the improvement column under the project progress table contains a string like, I am using the like because I know we have knowledge about the like function in SQL. Contains a string like tabs. Then we now come to the results if true. If it contains a string like tabs, give us install
tabs.
Install tabs. Else what else? What do we do? Else return the project progress improvement table. I don't know that you get the point. Else, can somebody tell us why we are returning the table? We are returning the column.
Yes, because if it is not tabbed, then if you say blank, it means that it's just going to filter just the tabs. But at that column, that is not the only thing there. So if you don't find it, exactly, maintain the same table with the same items that are there.
So that's good. So what you're just saying is, if we don't find it, let me just put it there so that it makes explanation much easier. So otherwise, let me do it here so that it will help guys understand the code easier. Otherwise, give us, sorry. Okay, so if you check from the improvement table and you find tabs, give us install tabs. If you don't find tabs, give us the values for that column in the project progress table. Remember this is a column, right? And when we were building up, we said column works, the aggregation for column is row wise. I don't know whether you're getting something.
Yeah.
The aggregation for columns, down row wise. So it's going to repeat when it gets to that row and it is not tabbed, it gives us the value of that row, brings it to the same row in the new column. I believe you're okay with that.
Yeah,
Emmanuel is raising his hand.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Emmanuel.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, the reason why I think this calculation was done, even in the first place, was to identify the number of improvements, individual improvements that is going to happen in the area. To realize that all that factors, all that variables are okay to the exception of the tabs. So that's why I use the function so that you maintain the old ones and only change issue with the tabs. So that's one of the issues. So that is
okay.
One tab or two tabs to install, still install tabs. You want to find a number of install tabs. So I think that was why we use particular. Yes. Yes.
That is true. Okay. So, and you see that our code worked because it has produced an output, for which we can confirm to see that we have virtually the same thing as in the case of the previous one we did. That's the project aggregated improvement one. You can see that we have the same thing there. So there are other cases with which the if statement can condition with. It can condition with sum. This is contain strings. It can condition with sum. It can condition with count. you can condition with count. So now this is what I want to do. I'm changing from contain strings. We are going to do, I'm going to do a count. So I think, okay, yes, I think the count should work. Let me use a count. Count and aggregation. I think, let me see. Let me create a new messenger device. So let me copy this. So let's try something else to see if it works with that for us. New column. All right. So in this case, this is what I want. I want to try and see if it works. If the project progress table improvement is tapped, count if it's tapped, else ignore. Does that logic make sense? Count if it is tapped, else ignore. To get the number of taps, the number of cases where there is a need to install taps.
So apparently, if it's like the SQL, then it has to work, because here you are picking a specific thing, so it will filter only the tabs alone, and then it will show all the other ones blank. If that is my understanding.
Okay. All right, so let's give it a try. So column name. So progress. Let me use this. Okay. So the result is true. No, this will not work. The logic does not make sense. Do you agree with me? Because now, project progress, the aggregated value of project progress, if we are counting, if we use a count, it gives us a total number of rows. It won't work.
But are you supposed to use the project progress or the aggregated column?
The aggregated column. But it won't work. Yes, Iman wanted to say something. It won't work.
I don't know. Do you want to count the number of taps incidents in the room?
Yes.
So I think you could have. I think you can try. I don't know, but you can try maintaining the contain string. I'll bring the count first. Then you bracket the contain string. You double the bracket down. The next.
Okay, so yes, that would have worked. I wanted to use the what they call it, the count directly. Let me see. So if yes, we could have used this. So if project progress, if the improvement table, if the improvement column of project progress contains tab, then the condition is count. If it contains tab, then we can now bring a condition as count. pound value or something like that. Let me see. I don't think this works either, but let's give it a try. Otherwise, so put it aside and then move. I'll just have to explore it in another this thing, and then we'll take it out from there. So progress table tabs. So instead of install,
I think for DAX, the aggregated function comes before the logical function. I think
which
that's
one?
why the count comes before the if function.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay,
it will be
okay,
count
okay, okay,
if,
okay.
yeah, very,
Oh,
very
okay,
good.
okay.
Yeah. It will
It
come.
makes sense. It's
Yeah.
similar to the Excel version count.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. So count. Are we correct? It's giving us error. Okay, so let's take it. Count if why am I getting this? Okay, let me finish up and see. Install. Let me use this. So okay, let me use blank.
Yes. To see if,
Right,
yes,
blank.
yes. So you're counting this or you leave the,
Yes.
Hello. Hello. Hello, Mompuchi.
Hi.
Yeah, Mompuchi. All right, Mompuchi. Let me see if he's
We've
with us.
lost him.
We lost him, right? All right.
Yeah,
So
I guess so.
okay. So since it's going to be a 3-day program, so far, he has helped us to understand what the DAX mean, the data analysis, data analysis expression, and also to understand why we even create a measure and a column. I think few of our brothers have also given us explanation as to why measure and why a column. And so far we've looked at basic DAX function using logical statements or problems, and what he was trying to guide us through the contain string function, right? So from the beginning to where he left us, if you have any issue, any problem, please, you can let us know, and whoever has the strength would help you understand over here. So we can build upon it tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be built on today's on. So by Monday, we can at least get to somewhere, and we can say bye-bye to this one. So please, if you have any question, any confusion, you can let us know first. Hello. Hello. Yeah, yeah. Hello, Meba. Yeah, hello. Please, you are still waiting for the question, so it's 9:26. I think most of us have many other things doing, and tomorrow too is Sunday. We must prepare for. If there is no question, then we believe that all our silence means consent, and we are all okay with today's section. Then I would thank each and everyone for your time to join us to also learn together. So if not, I would move for the motion for the closure of today's section. So tomorrow we can organize ourselves to do something complex. So if someone can second, you can let us know, and we can move for the closure of today's section. Hello. Hello. No.